Hey Tanaya, do you know what my favorite time of the day is?
No, what is it?
It's right now hosting MSU Tonight.
Welcome to MSU Tonight. I'm Tanaya Grace.
And I'm Jack Ellebrook. Coming up on the show, SGA President Ali Khatib will stop by to fill us in on what student government is up to these days.
Also, Joe Reeves and Ronan Summers will catch us up to current happenings in the world of sports. Right now, it's time for Hot Topics.
A local independent band called Prickly Ports made the live debut of their new album at 7 p.m. this past Saturday at Wits End Records. The band was previously known as Kentucky Vultures, but is rebranded to Prickly Ports after the passing of bass player Mike Hartman. Their new album, which is titled Perfect Past All Parallel, is dedicated to his memory. Other local bands will be performing at Wits End, like owner Tim Payton's band Secular Pets, SGS, and S. Knox Montgomery.
Murray State University Greek Life hosted its 52nd annual Watermelon Bust on Saturday. The event was organized by CHOP, where each fraternity and sorority competed in multiple games in the mud. During the week, all Greek organizations raised money for Murray Callaway County Need Line, a nonprofit organization that provides necessities to those in need.
Everybody will go out and they'll go to the rebate nights, and you go to a restaurant and they get a percentage of that, and then they'll also do change wars and chorus, so everybody donates money to their own team and you just try to raise the most money for your people.
Alpha Omicron Pi had raised the most money through their rebate and change wars. They were also named the grand champs of the Watermelon Bust Games.
An anonymous Instagram account at Murray State Pisser has become the center talk on campus lately. The user posts reels of themselves pretending to urinate at various random locations around campus, accompanied by suspicious music. Notable spots include Fine Arts, Woods Park, Clark Hall, Winslow Dining Hall, and more. Their bio clarifies, though, not actual urine, purely silly antics. Adding to this buzz, another anonymous Instagram account at Murray State Pissercatcher has emerged, claiming to be on a mission to find the original poster. With comments and posts dedicated to tracking down the prankster, they've turned this mystery into a fully blown social media legend.
WKMS is committed to bringing the sounds of our region to the airwaves by giving local musicians and bands the opportunity to be heard by our audience. There is Follow Spot, hosted by Zachary Lamb, Thursday at 10 p.m., and many more, so make sure to stay tuned.
The ongoing construction of the nursing school is currently making significant progress. The construction of the building started this past December, and the nursing school is named after Jackson Hall, after Bob Jackson and his wife Karen, who was a nursing student. The construction of the building is expected to be fully completed in the fall of 2026.
The Office of Student Enrichment, Academic Excellence, and Leadership will host its annual College and Career Readiness Conference this weekend. The event begins on Friday, September 26 at 6:30 p.m. with an opening keynote from President Dr. Ron Patterson and the Curris Center third floor concourse, followed by a reception in the Mills Center for Excellence. The conference continues on Saturday, September 27th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Curris Center Theater. Students will take part in workshops that focus on resume building, interview preparation, and leadership skills, while also hearing from an employer panel about what companies look for in the new hires.
Locust Grove Baptist Church is excited to host its 15th annual Corn Maze. On Wednesdays and Saturdays from 6 to 9 p.m., the maze opens its gates to both the church family and the wider community. Everyone is warmly invited to explore and compete in the maze, completely free of charge. The maze is set on a 7-acre field behind the church, which is generously provided by Robert Houston and his family, who are longtime members of Locust Grove. Each year, Robert carefully plants the corn maze at an angle, making it more challenging by preventing visitors from simply following the rows. This unique twist adds extra fun and excitement for all who venture inside.
Families that come through, and you'd actually be surprised how quickly some of the younger ones will get through it. I timed a group last week and it took them 30 minutes, so that was actually pretty good. And then some people like to just go out there and get lost and have fun, so that's just part of the fun of the corn maze.
If you're interested, the church is also launching a brand new youth ministry called Grove Kids. Sign-ups are available at the Maze's registration table, so make sure to check it out.
We will be right back with SGA President Ali Khatib, where Isabel Harrell will be asking him some hard-hitting questions.
Stay tuned for more.
Hello, my name is Isabel Horrell, and I'm here with the one, the only Ali Khatib, SGA President. Before we get started, we're going to talk all about Yik Yak, but before we get into that, I'm going to let Ali kind of tell you a little bit about himself and what he does here at Murray State.
All right, well, my name is Ali Khatib. I'm the student government president, and I'm also the student regent. So in that role, I sit in the board of regents, but I play more of a representational role among the students, you know, voicing y'all's opinions. I try to stay on campus a lot, talk to a lot of different kinds of people. But yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have Ollie here today. I've known him, we kind of go back since freshman year, Bluey Club, funny
Bluey
enough.
Club.
So he was like campaigning and promoting for president even back then as a freshman. So that was pretty cool. But let's go ahead and get into Yik Yak. We're just going to kind of take this roll and see what we got. So can someone who lives in White let me know if the baddie RA is still there or not? I don't live in Lizzo, or is this White?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't live in White, but I always hear all sorts of like funny stories and like chaos there. But I assume you lived in the dorms too?
I actually never did live in the
didn't?
dorms, but I've been on Yik Yak like all 4 years, or I guess 3 years, and they're always talking about some baddie RA, and like, low-key, I feel like it's the RAs posting this, not
Yeah.
even, like, I don't know what many of the RAs look like, but
I think it's
that's my
funny.
perception. But I really do like these posts. I like these type of posts
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh, that's crazy. The baddie RA is still there or not?
Did they get a response?
I think it's probably someone that lives like not in their dorm, but is like checked in a lot, and they're like, but that's
like,
hilarious.
who is she? Like,
I don't know. Let's get into something juicier. To the guys laughing loudly on the 4th floor of Lizzo, you sound like ghosts. I don't even know like what sounding like a ghost means. Is that like
that's scary. I don't like that. I mean,
so you think it's like someone like 3rd floor like talking about 4th
it's like
floor?
ho ho ho. Is that it? I mean, that could be what it is. I'm trying to think of what a ghost laughs like. Do any of y'all know what a ghost laughs? Ooh.
It's just funny that it's a group of guys though specifically, so it's like a manly ghost.
And then it's like
laugh.
there's 24 upvotes too, so like somebody else heard this
how many
too.
floors
Like
does Lizzo have?
I'd like to think 8 maybe.
8, okay, that's very specific. But I don't know. I lived in Franklin, and I used to be able to. I lived on the 4th floor, but I still heard people like below me, so that was like almost freakier. Is like hearing people below you and like hearing them walk around and stuff. So I can only imagine like how loud I am like above them. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's next. Oh my gosh, I'll let you read this one.
Drawing people I see on campus day one.
Did you draw that, Ollie?
I drew a sketch the other day, but it was not this. But that's awesome.
I can't. It's not even mewing, you know. Like they didn't even do the jawline
Yeah,
or
like come
anything.
on, like you know, like come on, we gotta lock in a little bit.
Do we see like a day 2 or day 3 like progression? I haven't seen this one.
I don't know. I think
that's
we need to
funny.
bring back sketches though.
Yeah,
I
bring
don't
back
think people
sketch.
doodle enough. Like really, like doodling is where it's at.
I think Ollie's volunteering to be the first sketch, so go ahead and like draw him out.
Yeah,
and post it in
if
the
you can
Yik Yak.
sketch me out and post on Yik Yak when you see this, I'll let you know what I think. That's not me. That's not my account. The Ollie Khatib on Yik Yak is not me.
It's not?
It's not me.
Oh.
They're posting things. I am not Ollie Khatib on
Wait,
Yik Yak. I don't have a
thought-
Yik Yak account actually.
I thought you were like, so isn't Yik Yak like anonymous? So like people are just posting.
Somebody made their username Ollie Khatib and has been going around acting like it's me.
Oh my gosh,
I have
that's
to
crazy.
set the record straight here.
He's got a super fan out
But
there.
if you want to make the sketch, I'll look for it on Yik Yak.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, have you heard about this?
There's no way. No,
Do you think it's fake?
I would love for this to be real, but there's no way this is real.
Where do
I'm
you think
sorry.
they would put it? Like next to the Buffalo Wild Wings, like in that chain.
Ooh, that would be fire.
You can get some like Cane's like fries and like chicken fingers or whatever, and then go next door and get your like chicken wings. That'd be fun. I don't know. We have Cane's. I'm from St. Louis, so there's Cane's everywhere. So I kind of take it for granted, like coming to here.
You have to bring back like one of those gallon jugs of cane sauce when you come back. That's what we need.
Are you,
Then we
are you a fan?
the sauce is like, it's unbeatable. But hear me out. You get like Zaxby's chicken tenders,
Ooh.
and then you dip it in cane sauce. I feel like that would be perfect.
I love catering like Zaxby's because it's super cheap, but it's so good. It just hits. Because we don't have
Every
Zaxby's
time.
in St. Louis at all, so it's always fun. What is your like how do you rank Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A, and Cane's?
This is so controversial because Murray State has Chick-fil-A here, so it's like I kind of have to endorse that. And I do like Chick-fil-A, but I would say chicken-wise, I gotta say Zaxby's.
Zaxby's
Zaxby's has the best chicken.
And you're from Murray, right?
Yeah, I'm from Murray. Cane's has the best sauce. And Chick-fil-A, that's just old reliable. Like, if you're hungry and you don't know what you want, Chick-fil-A is always there for you. And that's why I love Chick-fil-A.
No, something I've like realized.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Maybe.
Something I realized about Chick-fil-A, like, is with my flex, like, it's kind of expensive, but
it's like
$15.
$50.
Pro tip: get that kids meal. Get that kids meal, and you can trade out your little kids toy for a free ice cream.
I didn't know that.
Big brain.
Methods.
Method. All right, I think we have 2 more. This town is plagued by terrible parking. Wow.
That is insane.
Okay, I have a parking story. Do you have one?
I have plenty.
You have
I'll let
plenty?
you go
Okay,
first.
I'll go first. So I was not the one to see this, but that's crazy. Because they're not even down like the right way. Like they went down the wrong, because it's this way. So they had like come in through the wrong way.
It looks like they were just in a rush.
Way.
Like they were like,
That's
okay, we have to
crazy.
go into Walmart right now, and like
That's
they
kinda
just
crazy.
pulled in, and they were like, please, I hope I don't get a ticket, because there's no way they had a handicap placard parking like this.
No. Okay, so every year we come to Murray State's kind of, I think this is just a college issue in general. It's just like parking. Every campus like has their own thing with parking. And so that's always been a thing for me like here ever since like my freshman year. And so I came back and it's always crazy like for the first 2 weeks because like all the freshmen are learning how to park and they're too scared to move their car because they don't want to lose their spot. And it's just chaos. But this was really bad, like especially this year. Like I don't know what happened, but so there's like this. I call it Springer Law. I don't know what it's actually officially called, but there's Franklin and there's General Services, and there's this like little one-way alleyway where you can't go both ways. Like it's only like skinny enough for one car.
Oh, yeah.
So you drive through there, and there's parallel parking on the side, and people in Murray do not know how to parallel park to save their life. I think it's like just the region, like a Kentucky thing. You don't really have to parallel park here.
Yeah.
But anyway, someone pulled up, and so like most people, like everybody parks this direction. Someone pulled up facing this way onto like the curb and grass, and was like kind of like their like rear like mirror or whatever, like their mirror on the side was like next to like the front wheel of the other person's car.
That
and they were
is
just on the
crazy.
grass. And then like literally that same like night I was like, I'm not parking anywhere near this person
Yeah.
because I don't know how they're gonna get out. I guess pull on the grass, I'm not sure. But the other lot, like it's across from I think like the pickleball courts or whatever. People just took it upon themselves, like we're just gonna create our own parking lot. So they started like parallel parking on these sides. They're not parallel parking spots like designed, but everybody just started parking. But the crazy part was everybody was like, I'm gonna park this way, I'm gonna park this way, I'm gonna park, and it was insane.
It's like staggered.
Yeah, that's my little story time. I think people got $90 fines from that too, which was pretty insane.
Yeah, you have to be so careful because the parking police. Listen, between me and you guys, the parking police are not here to play. They are strictly business, 24/7. I get parking tickets. You think you're safe, and it's like, oh, I'm in the visitor zone, and it's like,
Nope.
you got that $100 ticket, but
You gotta be registered.
But listen, if you do get a ticket, it's your first time. You might be able to exchange your ticket for like a canned good.
I
or,
bring
like,
the ramen.
toothpaste.
Ramen's the cheapest. Get ramen, spend like $1 on that, and then turn it in. Completely void your ticket. But yeah. All right, are we ready for this last one?
I suppose so.
Let's see. Okay, I'll let you read it.
Favorite part of my day is walking out of faculty hall and seeing the fine construction.
You gotta
man.
read fine.
The
construction.
fine construction, man. And then what is that? What emoji is that? What do you even call that? A
Like,
tongue emoji?
I think it looks like silly, like I think they're using it in like a thirsty tone. But
It's like a step before the tongue emoji. It's like not freaky enough for it to be the tongue emoji, but it's like like we're beating around the bush.
A
Like
little
we want to
humble-
get there,
a little
but it's
humble
like
freak.
we're not there. Yeah. Like
That's so
maybe it's a freshman. Like we're working
a little
on
shy,
it.
a little shy. No, that's so funny. Speaking of like the construction and stuff, do you have any like inside info on that
Some
at all? Like as
inside
SGA or like, is there anything going on with that specifically? I know nursing's coming up, and then they got the vet school.
They're doing a
too.
lot
I
of
know.
progress really fast. So
Yeah.
I can't give a direct ETA, but I think by the end of the school year, we're going to see a lot of progress. If not, we're going to see a completed building. Yeah. But, you know, focusing back on the key issue of this UCAC post right here, the construction man. They're cool people. Like, I don't know if y'all have talked to or if you've talked to any of the people working construction, but like if you're walking to class, like, you know, sometimes I have a little extra time and I'll just stop and start talking to somebody who's just like chilling. And like they have some good insight, honestly.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's cool.
Like, what are you doing here? Like, what's going on?
Aw. No, I was walking, so there's like that shortcut through faculty, like to get to faculty hall, you cut through like from Waterfield around Fine Arts to get to faculty hall or whatever, that side of campus, rather than going around to the quad. And they had some like construction workers like posted up there to like, I don't even know what they were working on, but basically like someone rounded the corner and I saw them get like blasted, like blown away. So I don't know what they were doing, but some of these like construction, like they need to like put some warning signs
I know
up.
exactly what you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
To me, I look at it and it's like, is this a skit? Like, are we like, is this y'all doing something on campus? Because it's like, I've seen some like ridiculous things walking past, like from the library going towards like faculty in that little alleyway. It's like you see them and it's like one day I was walking by and they were like sawing something.
Yes,
and
that's
like,
what I was talking
like
about.
All of the
It was a mess.
I feel like it's just performative construction. But that's not my official take. Like that's my suspicion, like that they're working and like it's like, you know, they're paid actors. And
I love that. Maybe that's like a good UCAC post, you know.
They're paid actors.
A little theory.
I don't know what they're here for, but.
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time that we have left today. Thank you so much again, Ollie, for being here and
talking
about
UCAC. Thank you for having me. This is awesome. Like genuinely, like I made it. Hey, Mom, I made it.
No, we love UCAC. Stick around. We got some more UCAC hopefully in the future, but even more cool, we are going to talk some ball. So stick around and stay tuned for that.
It's time.
What's going on, City of Murray? This is Talking Ball. We can't really say welcome back because this is our first edition of Talking Ball this semester. On this show, we'll be talking about sports, specifically football. We'll highlight our games of the week and talk about, you know, what happened over the past weekend and what's to look forward. We'll cover a little bit of analytics and talk about spread and stuff like that. But I'm not the best gambler. Ronan, I don't know if you gamble for real. And you should not gamble because it's a waste of money. But if you got some good gambling, you know, some good bets, you know, shit on my way, I'll throw a little $10 on that play. But to get things going, we're going to start out with the NFL. We're going to talk about how the Ravens continue to struggle in big games. You know, Lamar, he shined, and defense had their struggles. Ronan, what do you got to say about it?
Joe, Lamar looked good last night, but you can't say the same for that Ravens offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks, and in any form of football, whether it's JV, high school, college, NFL, you can't allow 7 sacks.
You cannot. And then look at this image behind this man. Derrick Henry fumbled once again in a big game in the fourth quarter.
You don't want to have that thing hanging over your head all season long. It's early, too.
And you speak of things hanging over his head. That's King Henry. He's supposed to have a crown over his head, but instead he's yanking the helmet off of his head and slapping it on the bleach, not the bleacher, on the, you know what I'm saying, but on the bench. It is like
that was rough. That was a tough look.
Oh my gosh, he tripped and fell on the bleacher. It was just embarrassing. I felt bad.
Went from King Henry to King of Crash Outs.
King of Crash Outs. I cannot imagine being a Ravens fan. Anyways, we're going to move into our second point. Clemson. What is going on in Death Valley? Well, I guess you're not Death Valley anymore because you lost to LSU in the first week of the season, and it's just you haven't bounced back since. You barely hung on to a win against whoever you played in the second week, and then you lost 2 straight games. Georgia Tech, and then who'd they lose to this? Oh, Syracuse. You lost Syracuse at home. How you lose to Syracuse at home?
I don't know how you can lose to Syracuse at home whenever you're a storied university like Clemson. You know, they've had, 10, 20 years of dominance almost in that ACC division, and it's starting to look like they're gettable. Yeah. They're gettable. They're more than gettable right now.
I will say this right now. I may be a student here at Murray State University, but I am a Louisville fan, ride or die, and we started this. We beat them last season, and I mean, they ain't recovered since. They literally are dead. Clemson is dead. 1-3 for the first time since 2004, and the first time in Dabo Swinney's time as head coach, which began in 2009. Since 2009, Dabo Swinney has been running the conference, and now he's 1-3. 1-3. ACC is wide open with Miami and FSU looking promising at the moment. Miami looks dominant. They're number 2 right now. FSU is top 10. I believe that those two may meet each other at Charlotte at the end of the season, but who knows? SMU doesn't look that great right now, but they may be right there. Georgia Tech.
Don't sleep on Georgia
Tech looks really good too.
They look really good.
They look really good. So we're going to see what happens with the ACC, but honestly, it all boils down to, will Clemson be looking for a new head coach if Dabo Swinney cannot turn things around? What do you think?
It's looking like it might be on the table, Joe. And 3-4 years ago, that sounds like kind of a crazy statement to make, but even with the success that he's had, you can't justify this season.
Yeah.
They just don't look like Clemson football. And whenever he's hitting the podium saying it's not my fault, it's this and that.
Yes.
It's a bad look for a really, really, good coach.
Exactly. It is a very bad look. And even though this is college football, it is affecting all aspects of college athletics. I know you saw the head coach for Auburn just retired.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is boiling down to NIL. It's affecting, how these players maneuver through the college careers, and it's affecting how these coaches do the recruiting. Dabo Swinney is a firm believer in high school recruits and building, from the ground up. Well, he's playing these other teams, is pulling these kids. It's not kids. They 24-year-old, 6-year seniors that's getting $100,000 to $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They got things to play for. You know what I'm saying? They buying their mama's houses and Cadillacs and converters. I mean, it's just. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different game from 2009.
Absolutely, and that's why Nick Saban retired whenever he did, because he wanted to get out of the game whenever, the NIL started rolling in, and now we're in a spot where these 18 to 24-year-old kids are getting paid big bucks to go out on Saturdays and play college football. And that's a pill that these head coaches are going to have to swallow if they want to, keep their head above water.
Exactly. Well, while we have some more time, let's go ahead and get into our last little bit. We're going to talk about a personal game of the week from this past weekend, then a weekend coming up. We're going to talk about an NFL or an NCAAF. I'm going to stick with college football. North Texas outlasts Army in overtime thriller. I know this might not have been the headline game going into the weekend, but this is something that stuck out to me. This was the only overtime game at FBS from this past weekend. Caleb Hawkins out of that North Texas backfield rushes for 4 touchdowns and tallies 99 yards in that as well. Not to mention he won the game for North Texas with a game-winning rushing touchdown. Final score 45-38. North Texas is looking pretty good. They got a winning record. Hopefully things pan out for them in a good direction this season. While we are in college football, I'm also going to talk about the SEC going forward. It's really up for grabs. Alabama takes on Georgia. Can Bama get a big win? They lost first week to FSU in a pretty sad showing. It's really hard to tell whether Bama is legit or not in a conference that seems to be pretty wide open. As I said, LSU is top 5 at the moment. They got a pretty big game coming up. It's hard to tell if Georgia is going to be, the dog that they claim themselves to be. It's just hard to tell who will be the king of the SEC. Like I said, LSU is top 5. They take on Ole Miss. Can they keep things rolling? They're both undefeated going into this game. Ole Miss hasn't looked that pretty good, but at the same time, it's still the SEC. Can they afford an early season conference loss right now? If LSU were to take a hit right now, they don't have, the same prestige as Alabama or Georgia. They could take a loss and they'll move up in the rankings just because of the name that they have, So if LSU were to take a loss to Ole Miss, who's a team that's not as formidable as the other, teams in the conference, then, they may take a hit and maybe bounce outside the top 10 just like that. So, right now, Georgia is favored by 2.5 against Alabama, and Ole Miss is favored by 1.5 against LSU. I'm going to take Georgia, but I will go against the spread, and I'm going to take LSU against Ole Miss. What are your thoughts?
I like it. I understand it. Personally, I'm a little bit out on Bama. They've just been smacked around a little bit too much for me. It doesn't look like Alabama football. And so I'd have to roll with Georgia. Kirby Smart, I think he's going to have that team prepared. I think they're going to go out there, do the thing on Saturday, and take the win. As far as Ole Miss and LSU goes, I saw on social media recently that Lane Kiffin posted, take the over, after his daughter went Instagram official with LSU linebacker Whit Weeks. So that's going to be a fun storyline to follow on Saturday for sure.
Definitely.
So I think that leads to the professional
Yes.
aspect of things. And this past Sunday, the Rams visited the Eagles, and it was a heck of a game. The Rams went up 27-6, 26-7, something along those lines. They were up about 3 scores until Jalen Hurts, after the first half, he threw 17 yards. In the second half, he put up 209 yards, went 17 of 24, and 3 touchdowns. He went absolutely ballistic against the Rams in that closing half. And Stafford and the Rams were able to get into field goal positions to potentially win the game. But Jordan Davis reached his paw up, blocked the field goal, and that was that. Twist the knife a little bit more. The Eagles already had the lead, and they still returned it for a touchdown. They were going to win it anyway. That one was just a slap in the face to the Rams, Joe.
I couldn't imagine being a Rams fan.
Me neither, Joe. Me neither. But next Sunday, looking on to bigger and better things, we've got a couple storylines that are going to be fun to follow. We've got Micah Parsons making his return to Dallas on Sunday Night Football. We've also got the 1-2 Chiefs facing the 1-2 Ravens in a game where one of these teams, Joe, are going to have to fall to 1-3, and that road to the playoffs is going to become a little bit harder. And then we've also got an undefeated matchup between the Buccaneers and Eagles. That's going to be a fun one between Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts. And then a defeated matchup, Titans, Texans, Jets, Dolphins. One of those teams, 2 of those teams are going to have to get their first win.
Is it crazy to say all teams might lose? You know what I'm saying? Oh, and straight defeated is insane. But I believe that's all we got, for this segment. It's been fun, Ronan. I'm glad that you were able to join me today. Hopefully things will keep going for the semester. And for all of you fans out there, send me those bets. We'll see you next week.
That's all we have for you this week. Thank you for watching tonight's episode of MSU Tonight.
Be sure to visit us on youtube.com/MSU Tonight and tune in next week. Have a good night, everyone.